For over 5,000 years, Castlerigg Stone Circle has stood high on this plateau in the Lake District, North England. Surrounded by mountains almost 360 degrees around the circle, it seems the Neolithic builders of this site were mirroring their landscape with the very architecture they were constructing. For countless generations, people would have come to this circle to worship their deities and connect with the spiritual. Indeed, it is the mystery of these ancient places that still attract so many, and what is apparent when studying and visiting this monument is the complexity, both astronomically and constructionally, demonstrating the skill and knowledge of the ancient builders of this site. For they aligned this monument, indeed all their monuments, to the heavens above. I believe they were a truly learned people, who held the universe worthy of reverent wonder and worship, for just as many still do today, they too would have come here to ponder the meaning of life and seek answers to the mysteries of the universe itself. Hello, my name's Elliot and welcome to Exploring Ancient History. We're here today at Castlerigg Stone Circle, a Neolithic site located in the Lake District in northwest England near the town of Keswick. This site is believed to have been completed in 3200 BC, making it well over 5,000 years old. Now this site, like many ancient Neolithic circles, has complex cosmological alignments and is aligned with the sun, the moon and the stars. We're going to be exploring the complex relationship between the stones here on the ground and the heavens above. Here we are in the cove feature on the east side of Castlerigg Stone Circle. Whilst we may not be fully sure of the complex cosmological alignments here, what we do know is that the line of stones going along the northern side of the cove aligns to the rising of the sun on the equinoxes. Over on the northwest side of Castlerigg Stone Circle, we have two other important stones. To my left marks the most northerly position that the moon would have set, and to my right represents the position of the setting sun on Midsummer's Day. The view southeast from Castlerigg Stone Circle and the two stones directly behind me are of the utmost importance to the Neolithic builders of this site. So the stone on my right heralds the midwinter rising of the sun, whereas the stone to my left marked the most southerly rising of the moon. Back on the east side of the stone circle here, we can see the line of stones that would have marked the point of the sun rising on the equinox. Also on the right hand side, this stone here marked the rising of Altair, which is the brightest star in the constellation of Aquila, around 3000 BCE. As beautiful as Castlerigg Stone Circle is from the ground, like many Neolithic monuments and stone circles, the true majesty of the site is only available to us when viewing from the air. Viewing from the air, it is possible to witness the true shape of Castlerigg Stone Circle, for it is not truly a circle at all. Rather, it is a perfect half circle, with the other half being an ovid shape. In modern times, this was first noticed and discussed by the late Alexander Thom, a Scottish engineer who spent much of his life working on decoding and studying Neolithic monuments across the UK and around the world. Thom recorded that 1/3 of all the Neolithic stone circles he surveyed were this half ovid and half circular shape. What is even more fascinating is that the way in which the curvature of the ovid shape was discerned, starting at the stone marking the most southerly lunar moonrise, also known as the lunar standstill, which occurs every 18.6 years. They marked out a line with an additional stone a distance of 32 metres away. They then placed additional stones marking out a half circle on the west side of the stone circle from these two starting stones, creating a true half circular shape on the west side of the monument. Then, dissecting the half circle at the midway point and employing Pythagorean mathematics, in this case, two Pythagorean 3-4-5 triangles, they were able to calculate and implement the ovid shape on the east side of the monument. This information is captivating to say the least, as we credit this knowledge to the classical Greek scholar Pythagoras, who lived around the 5th century BCE. However, this geometrical knowledge is present and in use deep in the Neolithic era, at Castlerigg at least 2,000 years prior to the time of Pythagoras. One of the things that makes Castlerigg so special is that this is one of the few Neolithic stone circles where almost all of the stones are still intact and in place. Now, there are several around the circle that are missing. However, something that is of a particular interest is that in 1793, local remarked that there had been an outlying stone present in the field. Now, when historians and antiquarians visited maybe 10 years later, they could find no trace of this stone. However, recently, the outlying stone may have indeed been located. Let's go check that out. So here we are in the southwest of the field in which Castlerigg Stone Circle sits. We have here what is believed to be the outlying stone. In 1793, we have a written record of this stone being present and aligned with the stone circle. However, at that same time, this field started to be used for agriculture and for wheat production. Now, it is theorized that this stone was knocked out of alignment, leveled, and then farming and ploughing was done over it until recently when it was moved over to the southwest of the field. Now, it's interesting that you can see the striations of the plough marks where this probably had been leveled, left in the field, ploughed over until eventually it was moved over here. Unfortunately, we'll never know the true importance of this stone as it was moved from its original position and the original position not recorded. We'll never understand the true importance of this site and what it meant to the Neolithic people who built, worshipped and observed the heavens here. What we do know is the people who built this circle and the vast collection of other Neolithic monuments understood the cycles of the moon and sun, the precessional motion of the stars, and could employ complex geometrical and mathematical principles well enough that still today we can discern this knowledge from the stones left before us. What I find absolutely brilliant is the knowledge credited to Pythagoras in the 5th century BC was readily available at this site for a full 2 millennia before his time, accessible to any visitor who could accurately measure the site. In education today, we are taught that our journey from hunter-gatherer to modern man was a linear timeline. In other words to say, we progress from no knowledge to all we know now in one upwards trajectory. With more and more understanding, further study of the ancient world, and with each historical breakthrough, we are realizing that knowledge has come and gone. What is gained can also be lost, and I wonder if the ancients knew this also. Knowing this, they preserved their understanding of the cosmos, geometrical mathematics, and architecture in stone, preserving this knowledge for those who came after them. I'd wager there is much more for us to learn from our past, left to us by our ancestors who lived more harmoniously with nature and therefore understood civilization, with the sharing of knowledge it brings, to be vulnerable, and thus seeking to preserve their knowledge for time immemorial, they have left to us these mysterious and captivating megalithic sites.